which have recently asked that if there's any way that the new APIs could be working with our interface of which is 58.0. So for which we'd like to say that yes, we have cleaned up the APIs a little bit, and that's why. Oh, that's nice. People are still joining in. Uh, okay, for everybody who recently joined in, I would just like to say that I was talking a little bit about APIs and how the new web page has been made for how the APIs will be working with our interface. And as we speak, this web page it's getting updated. And I have created a little small amount of web page for you guys to for testing it out today, and to show how it would go here on forward with the new interface which we have. So I know that most of the people who have joined in today might be software developers and programmers, but for those who do not, I would just like to give a little bit introduction of how what APIs are and what it could do if you know how to use it. So let's say if you have a hotel management system and your customers are checking in and day out, so you can develop your own web interface from the scratch, which could have a client server relation with the PBX on your system. So if you get in the details of your customers, saying your whatever details you want for the people who are checking in the hotel, so you can create an extension, the hotel extension, for them on very dynamic basis with just click of a button. So these and various other functionalities can be added to it as you'd like it. So let's say if you want to create uh, oh, okay. Oh, thanks, Louis. Sorry about that. I just have a way to speak pretty fast. Okay, so I'll be going a little slow. So basically, what APIs could do is it gives you a remote controlling of your PBX from a different system. So let's say if you are creating a CRM suite, or if you can include the API functionalities along with it, so that it could, without having manually logging into any of the systems, you could just make changes to the PBX and it will work for you. Also, for okay, so let's begin with the API examples which I could give you. Basically, the examples I've kept is pretty basic ones, because all what I could show you right now is how the get and the post request can be working with the APIs, because that is the basic of it. So let's say if you have to create an extension or read or update or delete an extension, so that you can achieve only with the get and the post request. So if hold on. Okay, so this is the terminal which I'll be using to make changes to the PBX. So let's say if we just start with the extension. So let's say if I want to get the all the information of the existing extension which I have, so that could be done via using the API in this fashion. So the only variables which we have over here is domain names and the extension number. So the domain name is in the string, should be in the string format, and the extension number is obviously in the integer format. So how we could get all the information about one extension is what we can do with this API. I have kept, we have developed these pages so that you could just copy paste the commands and you can see how it works for you. So let's say, so yeah, so this gets populated a little bit too much because it's giving you all the examples or everything which one um, extension would be having. So this is that extension which we were talking, which we just tried to get all the information about. So if you have to see, I have arranged this information in a orderly fashion. So this is the format in which you will be getting the replies back. So all the fields which are filled would be, you could see filled over here, and the rest which are not would be kept as blank. So this is the response, which is a big one. So yeah, and the error codes would be thrown at you if there's invalid ID supplied, like invalid username or login, or and if the even if it's valid one, then if that user is not allowed to make any changes or read anything from the PBX, then it would throw a 403 permission denied, and so on and so forth. So now let's say you have to create or a new extension. So that would be done with the help of a post request. So the API for that one would be a little bit different, only with different than what we use it for the get request. So we have tried to keep it as uniform as possible so that there's no much confusion while you're trying to use it. So you could get pretty good hands-on about it. So let's say if you have to create a new extension, you have to just copy paste this command on your timeline, on your uh, terminal, and then you can do it. So I have my own uh, commands over here which I can use quickly. So let me get those for you. So I have made this. I hope all of you are following a little bit of what I'm saying. So this is this. I'm trying to, under my domain, my domain, I'm trying to create a new extension which is number 25. So, and let's say I change that number to 30. So these are the attributes which I'm trying to give along with it, which is the type would be extension. The account is the name of number of the account which I'm just trying to create, the first name, last name, and the cell number. So these are just the ones I'm trying. So it gives me back a 200 OK along with the reply from the server. So let's see if this has created a new. So yeah, so as you can see, this has just created a new extension with all the information which I just tried to push. So this was the cell number which I tried to give. So, and the email ID, for example. So the email ID is also populated. So this is one of the examples which when you create an extension along with some attributes you would like. And let's say if you have to update this extension now, so there's a little bit change in the API which in opposed to what we used while creating it. So just again for making it keeping it as uniform as we can. So also for update, I have my own um, so let me just grab that. This is just my IP and my domain and the domain under which I'm trying to make changes. So the account which I'm trying to make changes is in 30, and these are the updates which I want to do in that account. So I've gotten all of this from our PBX's information itself. So I'm over here. I'm trying to change, as you can see, I'm trying to change the format of the cell phone number over here and many other things. So let's see if I fire this command. This happens a little bit when the terminal is working for you. Yeah. So this goes for it gave me a successful message. So if I refresh this page after this, maybe on the second page. Yeah, so as you can see, so the do not disturb was on while I set it. Also disconnect call with busy, that was also set by me, and then call forwards all call to this number has also been done. So, and as you can see, the format of the cell phone has changed. So this is how you can update the extensions, at least the extensions for now. And the last one would be if you have to delete these extensions or any other account. So what we have over here is we can delete the multiple accounts in two ways. So one would be if you have to delete all the accounts together. So that would have a different API call than if you have to delete a single account at a time. So this would be using a post request, whereas if you have to delete one account at a time, it would be using a delete. You can just send a delete request. So let's say I have to delete two accounts at a time. So one would be extension and the other one I can just take any other account. Let's say, well, let me see, what do I have? One is extension, one is, okay, let's say one more is maybe a hunt group, 121. So if let me grab my command from here. Yeah, I just have to keep changing the IP. Even this would work, but I'm not on my system. So domain action post account delete. So let's say I have to delete 30, the extension which I just created, and also the hunt group which I want to delete, which is 121. So it gave me success message again. So let's see, as you can see, the hunt group has just gone away, and the account 30 has also disappeared. So this is one of the way in which you can delete it. And if you have to delete like single account at a time, so this is the way to go. So you can delete one at a time. So now let's move on to trunk lists. So I had gotten few requests about how the trunks or how the domains or the dial plans can be also used with the help of APIs, but right now I'm just keeping it as uniform as possible. So let's say if but the get and the post request and all the API calls which you're trying to make would be almost the same, except that some of the variables are going to change according to which part of the domain you are under. So if let's say you have to just get all the trunks which you have on your PBX right now, so you can get that with the command. So if this is the one I tried to fire. So yeah, it gives you again a spaghetti of all the response, but it is still a 200 OK response which I've gotten. But so this is how you can parse these arguments into your system if you're looking for any specific parameters out of here. But if you want to just look it up in a very orderly fashion, then you can install one extension, JSON viewer extension with the Google Chrome, which I've done over here right now. And then you can see all the trunks which there are along with the IDs. So these are the IDs which are going to make all the trunks unique from each other. And you're going to use this if you have to edit or update the trunks. So this is how the trunks are going to look. This, the one which you see over here is exactly the one. This is okay. So this was about getting the trunk. And similarly, if you have to get the entire list of the trunks, so that you could get the IDs, so then you can use this API. Or if you have to get information only about a single trunk, then you can use this one. So so this is the cleanup which I would like to show you that we have done. And as I said before, our this web page which we are gonna make live in not much time. We are continuously updating this one, and we'll let you know once this is up. So okay, so coming on to the create part of the post, create part of the trunks, I mean. So you are going to use the post request once again. So if you have to create a new trunk, so you're going to have to fire this command also, which I have with me. Okay, so let me just copy that quickly for you guys. Okay, I'm here. So let me give you entire. So here's the command which I have again. I'm sorry about changing the IPs continuously because I had done everything on my system. So I am creating this trunk on my domain local2, and I'm trying to create this with would be a registered trunk, and it would be named as arq.pl. So okay, so it gave me a unique ID over here, which you can also see if you inspect the element if while you're trying to manually create it in the PBX, and at 200 OK response as well. So if I go to local2, go to web providers over here, so you can see I just created this trunk over here. Oh, this is, yeah. So this was how you can create a new trunk. Now let's say if I have to update this trunk. So it is gonna go with the same method as we did with the extension, but the only change would be some of the attributes which the trunk takes. So those are the only things which will be changing, along with the API changes which can be done. So okay, let's see if I have to grab command and changes to this trunk. So okay, so there's one thing that you have to give a trunk ID over here so that you know that you're making change to this trunk. So how to get this ID? So in order to get that, we have one more, like I showed you just a while ago. So this was the ID which we have, but I have to change the domain as I'm doing this on the new one. So this was the trunk which I just created. This is the latest one. It's in the chronological fashion. So this was already one which was already created, and this is a new one. So this is the ID which I have to give for filing away. So Also, one more thing I'd like to show you, that if you make any small errors with the semicolons or colons over here, the command is not going to go through, and you might just scratch your head day in and day out thinking what is going wrong. But hopefully it didn't go wrong with me. So yeah. See, as you can see, the trunk just got updated with the outbound number which I had to give, and the other attributes as I just took some dummy attributes which I thought was easy for you guys to understand. And lastly, I could say how we can delete these trunks. Oh, okay. So if you have to delete this trunk, again, you will have to know the trunk number, and you have to be under the domain which you were originally working on. So as we already know the trunk number for this one, so let's quickly copy this one and edit it on the go. It's good look good to that's my domain, and that's my app. Okay, so this seems to be deleted. Yeah, so as you can see, the domain just got the trunk just got deleted, and those are the two most uniform examples about the extensions and the trunk which I could give, and hope this was helpful for you guys. Also, I've gotten some few more requests from other customers of ours to tell them how the dial plans would work. So if I have to create a new dial plan, which let's say if I have to create one over here, so if the APIs I would be we all would be uh, updating the documents soon about how the new APIs will be working for dial plans or for every other attribute which you can use with the PBX. But right now, just to give an example that this is a work in progress, I would just like to show you how the dial plans also can be created. So let's say this is my new dial plan, and this would be under dial plans, as you would know. So if I wanna name it something, let's say, so file this command, it again gave me a 200 OK response along with a unique ID. That unique ID you guys see. So it just created a new dial plan. And if you have to edit this one, so that is the same pattern. I also have it with me right now, but I guess we are running short on time. But I would still try to show this to you guys so that you would know that our cleanup of the API was pretty good, and this would work really fine for you guys. Okay. Yeah, so the style plan again has a number which we have to find out. So yeah, so the number is 12. As you can see, the API just fired over here in a readable format. So if I change it here, and when I do a post request with all the changes which I want to see in this one, okay, so this is how, so it gave me this, again passed me a boolean value which was true along with the 200. Okay, so it just created everything which I wanted right now. So this is how the dial plans are going to be working with this. We also have various different examples about the domains and everything. So it's just a matter of time before the web page is available for you guys. So right now, yeah, that was the end from my side. So if you guys have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. Guys, the I just got asked about the documentation page which I was just showing. So yeah, this is a work in progress and it would be available pretty soon. But as you know that there are so many things which we have to cover before we roll it out to you guys so that there's no error on the page. So it's a little intricate work given this the API because one semicolon or one comma can make everything go down. So just give us a little time and we would be coming up with a new documentation of the REST API as opposed to what we had previously. If those are all the questions which we have, that's I would still be online and have a happy weekend, you guys. And you can still. Yes. Yeah, yeah. We would be having all the list of all the attributes and all the changes which you can make. Yes, that's why it's taking a little bit time. So just wait for it. Just hang on. Sorry. Oh, yes. Hi. Yeah, the DIDs would be assigned, can be assigned with the APIs. It's not shown in the test which I just did over here. Oh, that's a nice find. But we would just update it in the document. That's a nice one. Um, Hi guys, there's just one update which I would like to tell you that for the guys who were already using the APIs previously with the previous versions of ours, we have made a lot of changes in the API right now. So you guys just look out for that one. And we would be also updating the document as for the new API which we are going to be coming up with. So just a reminder for all of you to make sure that the previous ones won't work as smoothly as the new one would be. So that is the last update which I would like to just throw it out to you guys. Mm, I'm just waiting for more questions before I let you all go enjoy your Friday lunch. Hello guys. This just in. We also have one more webinar coming up 3 p.m. today Eastern time. So that would be about the sales. How would the hosted PBX, how we can increase your sales using the hosted PBX with Vodia. So please also join that one as well, and we would be looking forward to meeting all of you guys over there. As you can see, there are not many questions popping up on my screen. I would like to let you all guys go. Alright. So I would be signing off right now. Thank you all for joining in once again. So please do sign up for today's webinar at EST time. Thank you.